Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute snowman wreath, as you can see here. So yeah, this one is done, but I'm going to go ahead and walk you through how to do another one. So to go ahead and start, I'm going to show you what you're going to need. Everything you've seen here I've purchased from Hobby Lobby. So you're going to need to get 3 rolls of this deco mesh. This is 10-inch deco mesh, and it is just the white kind. So definitely need 3 rolls of this. You will also need some orange felt. That'll be his nose, and you'll need a needle as well as orange thread to sew it up. You'll need wooden circles, and then these usually come in a pack, so you just pick out those. You'll also need the paint to go ahead and paint it. So when you're done, his eyeballs will look like this. That's just a finished version of it. You'll need a ribbon for his hat, and then you will need the wire frames. Now this one, the baby one, is an 8-inch, and the larger one is a 12-inch. Now to be able to keep these together, you will need about 4 zip ties here. And then the other thing you will need to complete your project is you obviously need a glue gun to be able to glue on the ribbon and his nose and his eyes, but you'll also need this thicker type of black foam here. And then what you'll do is you will just go ahead and draw out something that looks like a mouth and then cut it out of the black foam. And it's just a little bit thicker type of foam than this felt. So you can find that in the craft section of Hobby Lobby near the orange felt, but you'll feel it. It's just a little bit thicker and gives his mouth a little bit more of a better appearance there. So yeah, to go ahead and start, we will go ahead and start by zip tying these frames together, and I will show you how to do that. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have the smaller 8-inch circle right in the middle. And you're going to take the zip tie, go through the inner ring with the zip tie on the outer, larger 12-inch band, and then go through and just connect it to the outer inch of the 8-inch. So as you can see, they're like this now. And then you want to make sure it's centered, and then just pull it tight. And then we'll go back and trim those off, but for now I'm going to leave it. And then we're going to do that all the way around with all of our zip ties. And all you're doing is creating the frame for your snowman. Working our way around. And this snowman does take a little bit of time, so if you do start to take on this project, I would make sure you have a little bit of time, or just a place you can set him aside so that you can come back and just finish him. So it does take me a little bit to do. See? Alrighty, can be a little picky at times. Alrighty. Alright, so there you go. Let's go back and just tighten them up now that you've got them where you want them. And then once you do that, you want to go in and just trim off the part that you don't need. Ooh, got the camera there. Sorry about that. Flying off. All right, so this is what your finished wreath frame will look like. Okay, so one thing before we go any further, I did forget to mention, and what you're gonna need is that you're also gonna need pipe cleaners. So what I usually do is get a large pack of pipe cleaners. They need to be white, just so that they'll blend in with the snowman. And what you wanna do is you wanna take your pipe cleaners and you wanna cut them into thirds. So this is gonna make them go further. Yeah, usually just a big bag from Hobby Lobby will be sufficient. Again, you don't need to be exact on all your cuts as to where you're cutting it in thirds, but you know, just a general way around. Not too short, otherwise it'll be really hard to tie it on. Okay, so just to give you an idea, that's what you're gonna do as far as cutting it into thirds. And then you're gonna take your deco mesh and you're going to measure out about 10 inches on your mesh. It doesn't have to be exact. I mean, it's just to give you an idea. So you want to do this. It'll look about like this. And you want to cut your entire roll of, actually all of your rolls. I usually do them in different stages because I just need to change it up. So I'll cut for a while and then I will assemble some and so on. But once you do that, I'm just going to go ahead and cut a few so that I can show you what comes next. Just get some of your 10 inches. And I usually create a pile of 10-inch deco mesh that's ready to go. Okay. It does tend to stick to stuff sometimes. All right, so what you're gonna do now is you're going to take one of your deco mesh pieces, you're going to lay it so that it's curling upwards. Like if you were to lay it on the table, it would curl in on itself. You're gonna take the edge of your deco mesh in the middle and you're going to just kind of walk your fingers up till you get to the other side and then pinch it together. So you should look like this when it's all said and done. You're gonna take your pipe cleaner that you've cut into thirds and you want to take it and you want to kind of wrap it around and then tie it like so. Okay, it only goes so far because you want to leave a little bit of room because this is what's going to attach to your wreath frame. So then what I do is go ahead and take the wreath form that you've gotten and you want to lay it down, and I start on the outside and I work my way in. Now it's gonna take a while before you really see kind of like what you're looking at here. But you want to take it and you want to just tie it on like so. Tie it on, and then you kind of flip it over and it will look like this as you start to go along. So, and like I said, it's going to take a bit before you kind of get an idea of what it is, but just kind of go through and you have to do it with each individual one. Walk your fingers up, tie it around, and then attach it again to the wreath form. Now, what you want to do as well is once you start getting quite a few on there, is you want to just kind of push them close together. If you don't push them close together, he's not going to be very full. So you definitely want to make sure that you push him together. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and do a couple, and then I will show you what it looks like as we start to move our way closer and closer to the center of the wreath form. Alrighty guys, just to give you kind of a little peek here is how it's coming along. This is one section of the wreath that I have pretty much filled up over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and tie this one on, and I'm gonna show you kind of what you wanna do at the end of your section as you're moving along. So yeah, like I said, you would definitely make sure you fill it up nice and well so that you have a full snowman. If not, you're gonna have a kind of not so fluffy, not so full snowman. So yes, that is one section of the wreath. It did take quite a few, as you can see back here, that I had to tie on. But yeah, so once you get there, you just kind of want to take it and just kind of want to pull it apart like this, not pull it apart, but just fluff it, just to kind of make it to where it looks nice and full. Once you've done that, you just want to keep working your way through every section. The outer section of the wreath does take the most time. As you move closer to the middle, it'll take less time. So keep with it. It's long. It's a long little process. It's a labor of love, but he's definitely worth it in the end. So yeah, let's keep going on. Okay, so here we have the wreath with the whole outer ring full of the white deco mesh. It does take the majority of my deco mesh to go and fill up the outer ring. So once I have completed the outer ring, I will start to work my way in. And then what I do is I will usually do, if you count the rings from the outside in, I usually do the third one from the outside as my second row of the deco mesh on the inside. So it does get a little bit harder because you have to kind of push the outer ring back so that you can see it gets caught on itself, see the inside, the third ring, so that way you can go from there. So count the third ring starting with the the most outward one, and then go from there. And what I usually do, what I find is that it's kind of hard sometimes to hook it through with it all. So I will take this and I will kind of bend it a little bit to give it a little bit of a hook. And I find that that makes it just a little bit easier to grab as you're sliding it through. So here we go, I'll show you that. So I've counted the rings. I'll grab my third one and just push it through. Tie it, and then yeah. And you're just gonna work your way through and do the same thing. Is gonna go ahead and take all of your deco mesh and tie them in. And then we'll keep going from there and I'll show you what that looks like after that. Okay, and now what we have here is our snowman with the outer ring and then another ring inside of that filled up. And as you can see, the more that you go closer to the inside of the circle, the less pieces you're gonna have to put. The outer ring is definitely the fullest. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fill in one more ring closer here into the middle just to make it a nice full flat surface, because we are gonna hot glue his eyes, his nose, and his mouth and his hat on. So if you leave him with a hole here, your eyes aren't going to stick properly or they're gonna look like they're sunken in. So you do wanna go ahead and just fill up this middle hole. And then after I finish that, I will show you how to put his face on. So we're getting there, he is almost done. All right, everybody, this is what our finished snowman circle and wreath looks like when it's all filled in with the deco mesh. That is the most time-consuming part in my opinion. So once you've got this done, you are well on your way. Before I start to glue the eyes and everything else on, I do go through with a pair of scissors and I like to just, as you can see, little pieces here that have gotten just pulled out, just trim these off just to make it nice and smooth on here. And then, yeah, he's a very, very thick snowman. Here we go. But I'm just gonna trim him up and then we are gonna go ahead and form his nose and glue on his eyes and we will make him look like a snowman.